our tradition, they also say at the end of every ritual, we have to do the Chaturveda Parayana. That means we have got to chant all the four Vedas. So, how to make it simple? And therefore, we at the beginning of the study, you can do Sahana Bhavatu at the end of every ritual that we perform. When you chant all these Shanti Mantras, you will be actually chanting all the four Vedas. So the next mantra is Vang me manasi pratisthita, mano me vachi pratishthitam. Sentence number 3, Aviravirma edhi. Number 4, Vedasyama anistha. Number 5, Shrutam me ma prahasihi. Number 6, Anenadhitena ahoratran sandadhami. Number 7, Rutam vadishyami. Number 8, Satyam vadishyami. Number 9, Tanmamavatu. Number 10, Tadvaktaramavatu. Number 11, Avatumam. Number 12, Avatu Vaktaram, Avatu Vaktaram. So there are 12 mantras, 12 sentences in this Shanti Mantra. Vak means speech. May in my manasi, mind, may the speech in my mind, pratishtita, may that be established. May my manaha, mind, vachi, in this speech, pratishthitam, let it abide. So, obverse and converse. So, let my speech be established in the mind, let my mind be established in the speech. Avihi is a Vedic term. Avihi means Brahman who is qualified as Saprakasha, self-effulgent. Avihi, this Brahman, may for me, Avihi yedhi, shine in me. Because there can be a beautifully shining light. But if I don't see that, then the light is not there. So therefore here we are saying, there is the effulgent Parabrahman. Let him reveal itself by its shining light, and let that also be reflected in my own personality. Again here we repeat Shrutam, whatever I have heard, may to me ma, not prahasihi, forsake or desert. So may what I have heard not desert me. Because what is the use of hearing, listening, understanding, and then the knowledge is lost? It should not happen. May that not happen. Adhitena, anena adhitena ahoratran, anena, by this, adhitena, by this learning, by this study, ahoratran, day in and day out, day and night. Ahaha means day, ratri means night. Ahoratran, day and night, sandadhami, I contemplate. See, just like the Shruti of the music, the awareness of Brahman must be there throughout our wakeful time. Rutam vadishyami. Rutam means truth, unexpressed. Let us say like intuition, like the what you instinctively know as a truth. As soon as our intellect and the emotion come in, truth gets distorted. Before the influence of intellect and the mind, the perception of reality is there in each and every one of us. Now this student is saying, I will be sensitive to that original voice, Rutam, and that is what I speak. We can interpret this mantra as I understand the truth. And then, Satyam vadishyami, that truth which I have understood, I will speak. Understanding and the truth that I speak, Mam, me, avatu, protect. And that tat vaktaram the teacher avatu protect. So not only it protects me, but I want even my teacher to be protected, because that way even whatever the teacher speaks is also Rutam and Satyam. So the Avatu Vaktaram. That is, may my teacher be protected, may my teacher be protected. In our scriptures, there is a rule that we never repeat ourselves, but some exceptions are given. The never repeating ourselves is called Dvirukti dosha, Dviukti, that is saying the same thing again. One exception is given wherever, for the sake of extreme importance of this subject, we have to emphasize, we can repeat. Student, because of his great concern for the welfare of the teacher, is saying, please protect my teacher, please protect my teacher. Because here, as you see, if before the end of the study, if the teacher life is compromised, or if the student's life is compromised, what is the disaster? The disaster of knowledge transfer. And therefore, until the knowledge transfer is complete, and the student becomes a competent teacher and he accumulates his own students and transmits, let all of us be alive, fit, and in perfect health. So you can see, all our prayer for perfect health is not for just enjoyment of our senses. It is for the sake of preserving knowledge. So once this is done, what are the most important senses, the most important equipment that we have? Eyes, as far as our interaction with the world is concerned. As far as knowledge is concerned, it is mind and speech. Manas and Vak. Because eyes are only receptacles of knowledge, but the holder of knowledge is the mind. The transmitter of knowledge is speech. And therefore, in the context of educational exchange, speech and the mind is the most important thing. So we are asking the Lord, let me not think of one thing and speak another. There is a statement, manasi anyat, mind is somewhere, vachasi anyat, speech is somewhere else. May that not happen. Let the manas and Vak will be in perfect accord. And then, when manas and speech of the teacher, and when the manas and speech of the student are in perfect unison, so there are two manas and two speech, and each one of them have a pair of each. So think of the interaction of all these four in its pristine, perfect relationship. What comes out? Trust comes out. The trust, the Shraddha, that my teacher is teaching me the truth, and the Shraddha of the teacher that the student is assimilating the knowledge correctly. Because that's also important. So, because each discipline has its own jargon. So when the teacher uses a particular jargon, the student must be able to understand the jargon in the context of the study that we are making. Plus, must be understood perfectly. And for the student to understand perfectly, this teacher must have the skill of perfect communication. And perfect communication, what is the quality of perfect communication? As you know, the definition of sutra, it must be brief enough, because suppose we talk too much, then what happens? In the noise of the words, ideas are lost. Alpaksharam. It should be unambiguous, asandigdham. It must be full of substance, saravata. It must be universally applicable, Vishvato Mukham. It must be irrefutable, and it must be flawless. Irrefutable Astobam, flawless Anavadyam. So these 6 important qualities are required for perfect speech. And when these 6 qualities are observed and assimilated by the student, perfect communication is there. So now we are asking for that manas of both the student and the teacher are in harmony. And when this happens, the guru becomes Shishya Chittapaharakaha. That means he steals the mind of the student. If not, the guru becomes Shishya Vittapaharakaha. Vitta means wealth. So he will only be teaching with an agenda, saying, what can I get from this person? When will that happen? When the teacher's mind is not in accord with his speech. So these 2 important principles are laid down in this particular mantra. So the Guru-Shishya relationship being established, the Guru and the Shishya both become incorruptible. That's the beauty of this relationship.